Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BizTools. Welcome to Accountants Minute. Today's theme is how many of your clients are having difficulties borrowing money from banks at present? I was at a major accountancy conference in Hobart last week, and a number of the accountants indicated that their clients are having significant problems in making loan applications stick when negotiating with banks at present. I also had a telephone call from a client yesterday who indicated that last week a bank had offered leasing finance worth $850,000 on machinery, admittedly second-hand machinery, and that on Monday that offer had been withdrawn, with the comment being made that all of the banks have decided to discontinue leasing. I don't know if that's right, but it's part of the problems that many of your clients are having in trying to organise their banking affairs at present. I've had a number of our subscribers send me emails saying that there's real issues, especially in regional Australia, in being able to negotiate new banking loans for their clients. So I'm asking two questions today, which I would appreciate if you could send me your answers so you can tell us what is happening, because I'm making a presentation to the Crowdfunding Institute of Australia roundtable meeting in Sydney on Friday, 28th of February. And I would like to have a bit more ammunition as to what the real issues are out in the small business land, where you people, or most of you, are spending a fair bit of your daily activities working with your clients. How many of your clients are experiencing difficulties in borrowing money from banks at present? You can just give me a number, that would be great. And could you also answer a second question to identify your location of your accountancy business? Are you in a capital city, a regional city, or a country area? Because that will allow us to really pinpoint at the CFIA meeting where the problem is. There are government representatives attending the CFIA meeting. Generally, I gather there's some dissatisfaction in Canberra about how crowdsourced funding has performed in the first 2 years in Australia. And I tend to agree with them. And I think there's a great opportunity for your clients to be able to really look at an alternative way of financing their businesses by utilising crowdsourced funding, equity raising. So more about that in a couple of weeks' time. The results from crowdsourced funding equity raising: 68 companies have raised $45.1 million. As I said last week, that's great news for the companies who have been able to raise their targeted amount and get on with their lives, get on with their businesses. But where are the rest of the Australian companies? We're hearing these stories about how difficult it is to deal with banks. Is it because the small business community doesn't know about it? Are they really saying no, they're not prepared to allocate a percentage of their company to investors? Do you know about it? Because at this same conference that I was at last weekend in Hobart, I asked a question to the room: how many of the accountants present knew anything about crowdsourced funding, equity raising, or had participated in it? And 3 hands went up. I then asked a second question: how many of them had actually worked with a client who was going through the crowdsourced funding equity raising process? And only 1 hand went up. I would really like to see how many hands are going up around Australia at present in response to my questions to you today, because this might be part of the problem. I would like to issue a challenge to you that in 2020, the start of the decade of change, that you really become familiar, confident, competent in advising on crowdsourced funding equity raising. ESS BizTools is making a presentation to the Crowdfunding Institute of Australia, requesting the intermediaries to join with ESS BizTools and some of our associates on the development of an accountant's accreditation program for crowdsourced funding equity raising. When I talk to intermediaries, some of them are critical of accountants and are looking for more interaction. So what we're proposing is that we put together a course which would go over a few months, and it would feature one or two speakers representing the intermediaries who could bring their stories about how unprepared various people are when they approach them to assist in raising capital, so that we can try to improve this overall industry. The real benefit for you will be that part of this process is that the intermediaries will agree, and the major ones already have, that if people turn up who they assess are not investment ready, they will hand to those people, those companies, those directors, a list of the people who have been certified as crowdsourced funding approved accountants and undertaken the accreditation process, so that you will have the opportunity of receiving inquiries from those people who have failed the investment ready test. And what I'm hoping will come out of this is that we will have far more dialogue going on between the accountants who are accredited on this process and the intermediaries, with the overall result being more communication, more assistance, more involvement with small businesses and medium-sized enterprises as they go down this journey. And one of the reasons for pursuing this course of action is that we've completed our crowdsourced funding intermediary survey, and you can access the full survey from the additional information that's linked to our article, Accountant's Minute. And we asked the question, what do you think about the standard of the companies that are coming to see you? And the intermediaries basically have rated what they're receiving as being poor, and are claiming that 50% to 95% of the companies who have presented themselves claiming that they are investment ready or claiming that they understand crowdsourced funding equity raising are not investment ready. That's a very poor indictment, but it also presents a tremendous opportunity for accountancy firms around Australia to be able to offer those services to get those clients into an investment-ready status. So you can read more about all of this in the supplementary documentation that you can click onto from the Accountant's Minute article. And please go to our website where you can log on to the Crowdsourced Funding Learn More, which has got a lot of information that's available for you and your team to be able to read, so that you have a better understanding. And of course, whilst there, you can have a look at the 23 other product packages that we have within ESS BizTools. So have a good weekend, and I look forward to talking to you again next week when we're going to launch our updated Survival in Difficult Times product package to assist you to be able to assist your clients who are having difficulties through any number of disasters and problem areas around Australia at present. That's for next week. Have a great week. Have a great day. Goodbye.